Welcome to the Set Breaker Podcast, and today we have a very special guest. We have UFC fighter Julian, the Cuban Missile Crisis, Marquez. Welcome, Julian.
What up, what up?
What up, man? Dog, your fighter name literally had me laughing. It's such a great name. It's like the Cuban Missile Crisis, and I was like, dude, it makes sense because you have a sense of humor. Like, you're fucking funny. You have a big personality. Yeah.
Oh yeah, man. It's a wild one, and I wouldn't want any other like cheesy nickname. I want something that no one else would be like, they would be riding with, you know? So It was awesome. It was dubbed to me at a random point in time in my career, and it's great.
Damn. It fits perfect.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I try to be cute, you know?
Yeah, you try to be cute and then fucking lay bombs with your fists.
Dude, these things, that's all it is. They're little baby missiles. And the past 2 years, they've been loaded up and just learning, because hopefully soon we can let them go. That's the goal.
Is that because you're in a recovery phase? Was that?
Yeah. I ended up getting injured, man. I tore my arm off the bone because I threw too hard, and it ripped the tendon off of the bone itself, and we had to reattach it.
See, only strong people, only super fucking freakishly strong people can. I've thrown many punches in my life, and none of them have hurt me.
No, it's wild. I've never heard of it. And then, like they said, I'm the only person in the entire UFC to ever have this situation happen to them, in the entire deal. And it's common, but it's not that common. It's only common in baseball players whenever they're throwing, 110 mile an hour, 100 mile an hour fastballs. And it's just a full extension of your arm going that fast and that powerful that it will rip. But they've never seen it as severe as mine. Mine was completely severed off. Yeah. Whereas other, like, MLB pitchers, theirs are a little bit tears. Like, mine's completely gone, and theirs are just like a little fraction tear, and they just have to stitch it back up, and it's quicker healing time.
Damn.
So, wild times, man.
Damn, what did it feel like, though?
What did it feel like?
Compare it to?
All right, so check this out. This is exactly how it is. And I've jacked up a lot of body parts, and it felt the same feeling. So you ever taken a rubber band and pulled it, and then, like, instead of letting it go and going that way, when it shoots out, do you ever pull it and it breaks right in your hand?
Yeah.
You know that feeling? That is the exact same feeling that you get, where you feel the elasticity break, but then you get these two little stingers, but they don't hurt too bad. You just get two stingers on your fingers. You're like, what the hell was that? And then it just goes numb.
Damn.
That's it, man. Your body's wild, dude. They can endure a lot.
Well, I'm glad that, you got to the point in recovery where you're able to practice, fight, train, and all that, right?
Yeah, I'm back. I'm back in it. I can't announce it, but we're coming up on a fight. Didn't announce the date, but I can definitely say I signed a contract.
Man, I am pumped. I'm gonna be watching that shit. Oh, I'm ready for that. I got a question, man. I actually thought about this earlier today. So I used to wrestle in high school. Okay, I was a horrible wrestler. I fucking sucked. I lost every match, and the one match I won is because they didn't show up. Okay, I'm just gonna be honest. All right.
Hey, man, every win's a win, dog.
Hey, fuck it, right? There's no such thing as failure, just results.
Exactly.
So, okay, you are super manly. You have a beard. You got chest hair. Have you ever thought about rubbing that in a competitor's eyeball? Because sometimes I get eyelashes in my eye, and it fucking hurts.
Oh, man. You know what's worse is whenever you get your beard hair or someone else's hair in your mouthpiece, and you're, like, sitting there like,
dude, that happened to me. That happened to me when I was in high school wrestling. It was because of a guy named Caveman. He looked like a caveman. He was hairy back. And then I was like practicing with him, and I was like, what the fuck? And it just kept going. It was like this long. Yeah.
It was just pube in your mouth. It's the worst feeling in the world. Dude, trust me. I definitely, it's like, what was that movie that it wasn't Along Came Polly, wherever he jumped. No, it was Meet the Fockers, wherever Ben Stiller was playing basketball, and then his hairy friend just smeared all of his like chest hair on his face. That's pretty much what happens. Not in wrestling so much, but definitely in the fights. Like, I've never fought anyone hairier than me, so I bet you I am that to other people when I'm on top. But I definitely try to suffocate by hair in the mouth or hair in the eyeball and just get him to sit there and just,
Yeah.
distracting.
I fuck, I'm gonna get infected. Shit.
Yeah, you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. You gotta fucking go. Whatever it takes to win.
Whatever it takes to win.
Mm-hmm.
Like TKO by hair in the eyeball.
Yeah. Hey, so I'm glad that we're finally talking because I was super surprised when on TikTok you duetted my shit.
Oh, why is that?
I don't know, because not many people were duetting it, and of course, I mean, you're a fucking fighter, you know. So I was surprised, like, oh shit, like pro fighter is duetting this video. So can you tell me like what came across your mind when you saw it, and what made you want to do that?
Man, you post a lot of hilarious like short stories, little films, little snippets, little conversations. What you post a lot of it. So like, you know, when I find something funny, I'll duet it. And whether if I just sit there and look like an idiot and laughing with the person as they say it, you know, I started doing that. But like, I'll look at their profile. When I duet something, I'll look at their profile. And then if they have more funny things, I'll follow them because that's fun. You know what I mean? Like it gives you ideas, but also they're hilarious. Like I love to laugh. I love comedy. I love just all these cool things that people can do. So when I saw yours, you said the most recent one that I could remember that made me die laughing was when you were talking about poop. And you're talking about the poop and licking your fingers afterwards. What was it? What was that? I reenact everything you said.
Mm-hmm. Was it when my finger went in the poop on accident?
Yeah, when you wiped your finger. Yeah. Dude, it was hilarious because it's just funny. Like things that people don't think of. And you say it, and it was great. It made me laugh. Actually, I watched it a couple times and laughed. And then I had to watch it like 10 more times to get the timing down as close as possible to reenact your video alongside of you. But yeah, man, it doesn't matter if it's you. It doesn't matter if it's somebody else that's not even a comedian. They just make funny videos. I'll do the same thing. If I find them, I'll duet them. I'll act it out because, again, I like to laugh. You like to have fun, and, you know, it shows even in your, like, post-fight interviews when you said, I think you were talking to Tyrone Woodley. You were like, oh, you're your main, you know, like it was a beard competition or something, right? Challenge out, man. He came into my my room. So prior to my fight, you know, before they make you walk out to like the octagon and everything. So the day starts and he's, you know, on the Fox News at the time when the UFC was represented by them. So he comes in or Fox TV, he comes in and he was like talking to one of my coaches who is one of his friends. And I looked at him, he had like the beard oil in it. It was just shining in the light. And I just looked at it and I was mesmerized. I was like, dude, that's a nice beard. And after he left, I looked over at my coach and he goes, oh, you're shocked that you just met Tyron Woodley. And I was like, nah, man. I was like, my fucking beard's better than his. Like, I know it's better than his. And I took offense to it. And he started laughing. And then after I won my fight, I was like, look, I have to let this be known. I have to tell everyone. So I told them all, and they voted against me, fuckers. Ah, damn. You know what? No matter what, though, you still have a magnificent beard. I can't grow that shit. That's why I shave it every day. Because, I look like a pervert when it grows past 2 days. It's fucking disgusting. What does it look like? Why don't you do it? Let's get it a little choppy. Does it get choppy and all weird? Or? Yeah, but you know what? Because as you get older, though, more hair does grow out, right? Yeah. So maybe I'll try that. Maybe I'll try like a week. I'm afraid of it, but you know what? We got to face our fears, right? Bro, will you please grow a mustache for me? You know how awesome that would look? You know, I've never done that before, but because you asked with such kindness and respect, I'll try it. You know what? You guys hear right now on this podcast. Yeah, here we go. With Mr. Marquez, I am going to try growing a mustache. I will try. Grow it out. You gotta let it. Let's put a time frame before you can shave it. Because if it doesn't start going, you can't just shave it off. Like, I understand that's all you're blotchy on the sides for your beard, but it's going to take a minute. You have to let it go. Let's do 2 months of no shaving your mustache.
Oh shit, 2 months? That's a long time. 2 months?
2 months. 2 months. How about this? I can't announce my fight.
Okay.
But let's just say you can shave it after my fight.
Okay, so 2 months. Okay, let me think about this. Fuck it. Okay, fine. I'm gonna commit.
Just go with it. And
Okay.
and as it grows in, you just can't touch it. As it grows in, if it gets like little whiskery and like say it gets longer than on your mouth, and you can trim it up to make it look good. But you have to leave it.
Leave the base of it. Don't touch it.
Yeah. Let's see where it goes.
You know what? I've had the same. Well, I mean, recently 2 months ago, I shaved it completely low, but I've always had shaved here on the sides of my head, and it kept a little bit top longer for a fade for 10 years. So I don't change anything about my look until this. And even then, it's not that big of a difference. I shaved my head right. So I think it is perfect timing for me to try something new. Because you know what? I'm turning 31 in less than 2 weeks. So fuck it. Why not?
Why not? Let's do this.
New shit.
We got to change some stuff. We got to sit here. Maybe you might have a magnificent mustache that sits there, the little womb broom that all these ladies are going to be loving. You know, that's what you got. We don't know that. You haven't let it go.
Damn. You know what? You're right about that. Maybe because of the mustache, I might find my wife.
You could. I mean, if you look at all the greatest comedians that every female loves, like Ron Swanson, a.k.a. Nick Offenbacher. What's his name?
Offerman? Yeah, Offerman.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right there. Mustache.
Bill Burr had a mustache at one point as well.
Bill Burr.
Dave Chappelle did. He got married.
I'm just saying. Richard Pryor. Come on, dude.
Oh,
Eddie Murphy. They all had the mustache.
Maybe that's like this. Maybe it's like the Samson thing. You know, Samson, when he keeps his hair long, it's power. But for comedians, it's the mustache.
It's the mustache. Because that right there, that just means, like, because everyone always like, oh, the beard and the beard and the beard. I grew my mustache. I let it grow for a long time. I rocked it. It just doesn't look good on me as much. It looks like a Fu Manchu. My hair's perfectly straight. But this is the thing is that, you know, the mustache it's underutilized. I think people always wants to do the beard. They always talk about beard. You always see people with long beards and crazy stuff. You don't really ever see anyone with a copper mustache. The old super cop mustache.
True.
Super
you know what?
trooper mustache.
Shaved head plus mustache. Plus, I do have some aviators. It might be time.
Think about the TikToks you could be making. The funny TikToks. The car ramrod, super trooper replay. Just saying.
Reno 911.
Oh my God. New boot scooting.
Yeah, know? I actually dressed up as him for Halloween. I have the outfit.
You have the outfit. I'm saying, look, we have plans that we have created.
We do. And you know what? It's okay. You know, I commit today. I know. And speaking of commitment, I know that I started the 75 hard, and I know that I fucked up at day 35. I know. But I was like, you know what? Here's what I thought. I was like, here's what I could do. Oh, by the way, guys, if you guys don't know what the 75 hard program is, it's for 75 days straight. You stick to a diet. You work out 45 minutes outside, 45-minute workout inside, read 10 pages of a book, and drink a gallon of water every fucking day. And I got a day 35, and I had a Krispy Kreme donut. And then what I was going to do is I was going to continue posting on my story each day as if I was doing it, because there was people that started it because of me. And also, I don't want to look bad in front of you, but I was like, you know what? I got to be honest, because I'm not going to lie to the world or Julian. No fucking way. I'm going to be honest. Okay. But I will say this. I'm glad that you brought it up, because although I haven't strictly stuck to it in terms of the workouts and the running, because I didn't run before, it's still there. And I'm in the best shape of my life, and I actually have abs, which is fucking insane. So I want to thank you personally for even making me aware of that.
Bringing it in. Yeah. Look, that thing's amazing. And I'm going to be real, since we're all being honest. Mm-hmm. Once I got my fight offer, I broke. I stopped. I think like when you texted me, I don't remember what day, and I was like, oh yeah, dude, like I stopped as well, just because had I signed for this bout and then still stuck with 75 hard, like I literally I'm still doing 75 hard because I have to make weight. I have to train. I have to do all that stuff. So there's a lot that goes into it. So I would end up doing like 150 hard. And I was like, there's no way. Like 130 days of it. I was like, dude, because it was tough, man. This stuff got annoying. Having to read it wasn't bad. It made me literally branch out on a lot of new books and a lot of, understanding of business, because all the books have to be entrepreneurial. I didn't know that. But I was only reading entrepreneurial books, like self-help books to help you with business or to help you with negotiations, whatever it may be. But dude, I think 75 hard is for people who are just freaks and they want to do something. I think 35 hard, and then you can start going lenient and then just go there. Cause like you're still doing it, right?
I'll do at least one a day. I did skip yesterday though, but I ran before I got onto the podcast with you. So yeah.
But you're still like, you're doing some of it. Like instead of going 7 days a week, you're now at like 5 or 6 days a week. You're working out every single day. You're eating healthier. I mean, you learned about it and it's helping you stick with you. But 75 hard is like, it's almost boot camp, or it's almost like, it's trying to break you down to redevelop all your stuff. And honestly, I don't want anybody. It's a great thing for people if you have the mentality, but I think it's just, if you go into it for 75 days, the moment after 75 days, you're going to do whatever you want. Almost like your body's timed for 75 days. And afterwards, you're going back to your shitty habits. Whereas if you go into it and you like do it hard for a little bit, and the moment it starts getting tough, you kind of leniently break off, but still try to stick to it. That way you can still enjoy life, because, your body's an amusement park, not a temple. Anthony Bourdain. So yeah, you got to enjoy it.
I knew there was something that made us be on the same frequency, because I love when Anthony Bourdain died. He was the first celebrity that passed away that I actually shed tears for, because that man understood. Like, he was a white dude that got it. He really understood culture and people and cared and was really trying to help everybody,
Yeah, he was a martial artist too. Most people didn't know that.
Jiu-jitsu.
Yeah. And dude, I mean, it's the greatest sport. Jiu-jitsu is one of the best sports ever, because it doesn't matter. You can go around the world, travel, and try food out and still be bad enough to choke people out. Or you could sit there, being a lawyer, helping people get out of jail and still be in the same room as that person. So like, and it teaches you a lot of life lessons, and you learn a lot from a lot of different people from all over the world in all different countries. You didn't have to speak their language, and you just do the jiu-jitsu with them and they're cool with you. You know what I mean? Like, and that guy was amazing. That guy traveled the world. On top of his shows, he was training at different places of the world, and he got to see the world for what it was, instead of us seeing it, through a TV lens or an 8-inch screen,
And I always wanted to do jiu-jitsu, but so I went to 2 different eye doctors, and so I basically have a medical condition which, if I get hit, it's a gamble anywhere on the head. I'll get a retinal detachment easily because I have high myopia.
Yeah.
So I did jiu-jitsu once, and I was like, fuck, I want to do this, but then, because there are accidental elbows sometimes and things that happens, right? So I was like, fuck, but I love watching combat sports. I love watching jiu-jitsu too, and the mentality of it. Although I haven't like done it, I apply that to stand-up comedy and the grind of bombing, learning, getting tapped out. You always learn. You keep trying a new move every time. You could try that arm bar and you can't get the arm bar in, but over time, as you get tapped out, over time, as you start to figure out your body and how to do like slight different changes with your movement, you eventually are able to lock it in. But even when you lock it in, sometimes you can't sink it in and it gets let go, right? And then they get out. But you keep doing repetition, blah, blah. And you learn to not give up. You learn to keep trying, right?
Yeah, it's a mentality. That's crazy, dude. And you switched it over to, doing comedy. Like, how did that jump out of it? You just were like one day like, man, I think I'm funny. I can do this. Because I think it's fun. I always wanted to jump on stage and do comedy, but the thing is like, fuck do I say? You know what I mean? Like, I'm just a spur of the moment type of guy. When I'm walking around, look at some stuff, or like driving, I'll think of some funny ass shit. But
it's
I
like
don't know if I
that.
can stand up there. Yeah, I can't stand up
Doug,
there.
like I said earlier, you are naturally funny. Like it shines from the TV screen. Like you have it, and you're quick. You're quick too. You say some funny fucking shit, like legitimately. Okay, I'm not exaggerating or none of this shit. The things you think of randomly when you're driving, that's what happens to me too. And you just say it because you don't know. You don't really know what's gonna be like funny until you try it on stage. Just as like a certain move that you're gonna do, right? Like a Superman punch. Like it looks cool, but do you know it works? You don't know unless you try it.
Yeah, no, it makes sense. You're right, dude. Like, because what's funny too, man, is that I was watching your TikTok today where you're talking about driving home when you're gonna take a shit.
Oh, yeah.
That thing pops in my head all the time. Like, I don't fucking get it. 30 minutes out, you're okay. Then once you're down to 10 minutes or you're right in front of your house, it just gets tougher and tougher and tougher, all the way to where you're at the bathroom. And you're like, dude, you're about to shit yourself. It's like, what does your body or colon know between 30 minutes out and 2 seconds out? Why does it have to push out right at that time? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
how does it know to hold it?
That's true.
How do you not shit your pants?
Right?
What is it? What is it that makes you hold that? For 30 minutes, you're hurting, but you can still drive. But when you're right in front of the toilet, you're about to squirt out before you're about to cut it with your fucking boxers as you're dropping it down.
That's true. That's like every time when you do go, you know what? It made me think of the 75 hard, like you said, for 75 days compared to 30 minutes of holding the poop.
Yeah.
It's like afterwards, you let it all go. You say, fuck it. And you go, right?
Mentally, it could be a mental deal. Maybe we need to figure out how to tap that so we can hold our poops in longer, because those are the worst times in the world. I had that situation literally 2 days ago. Actually, no, it was last night. That's why this morning I was laughing my ass off about that TikTok. I felt that emotion multiple times, but last night I had to pull off on the side of the road.
Can you go into detail about that?
Well, what had happened was I'm the type of person that when you gotta go, you gotta go. Now I'll hold it, but I've been drinking a lot of water, so it's one of those type of, when it comes, it comes. There's no way to stop it. You know, like it's gotta go and you're good to go. And lucky for me, I had an extra pair of shirts out in the back. So I just kind of pulled over on the side of the country road, right off the highway. And I went to go down to look like I was checking my tire. And I just, kind of let it go. Just let it do its thing. And my shirt's ruined. It's over there on the side of the road, but good to go. Like we're okay.
Hey.
I'm not ashamed. There's no shame in my game.
There's no fucking shame. No shame. See, guys, you have to put things out there to reclaim your strength. Vulnerability equals power.
But yeah, it's just, I mean, look, I don't know if you've ever been in a car ride. There was no way I was making it home. I still had 40 minutes there. There was no gas station, a trustworthy gas station. I rather, especially during these COVID times, I'm really suspect when it comes to dirty bathrooms. There's a couple, gas stations that I'm about that I know, like, hey, I used to work for this gas station. I know that literally every 45 minutes, they have to clean everything in the bathroom. I trust that bathroom. But this one, it was just kind of like, hey, it was, it woke me up. You're driving, you're just like, ooh. And then you're just like, all right. So instead of going for 30 minutes, it went straight to the 2-minute mark where you're right there in front. And I was like, all right, there's only one way I could do this. So I went and did my business, sat there and just, fertilized the grass, got it all nice and clean, and left a t-shirt for memorabilia. It's autographed too. Well, brown stains, but it works.
Natural.
Yeah, but it sucked though. I regret it.
What the fuck? I thought about that when I had a shit like that. There was a lot of close calls to where I barely got to the bathroom, and even in Vegas, you know that long path where when it gets congested and it's just dirt, it's just all just like you
Oh yeah,
can't.
yeah.
I had a shit so bad in massive traffic there, and I was literally gonna go out into the middle where everybody could see me in the dirt because there's no trees, nothing. And I was gonna say fuck it and just shit. And I was like, you know what? People recorded me. Maybe I'll go viral. Maybe it'll help my career. I don't know.
That's it, man.
Yeah.
Why not? Like, literally, we literally just like break people down on the fact that we do natural human shit. You know what I mean? Like,
Mm-hmm.
we have to go, and sometimes they don't put bathrooms at the appropriate distance between LA and Vegas. And where do you go? You know what I mean? Like when you have an 8-year-old in the car and they have to pee, what do you tell them to do? You either give them a Gatorade bottle or you put them outside and they go out by the car. There's no shame in that. Why is it when I'm 30 that if I have to take a shit and I pull off on the side of the road, you guys make it all frowned upon?
True. And you know what? All of us, every adult has the inner child. It's always there. Yeah.
So is it.
Don't traumatize it.
I let it out. I'm open. Yeah, there's nothing bad that's gonna happen. Someone's want to sit there and make fun of me because I went out and pooped in the woods. I'm from the country, buddy. I don't give a shit. Actually, I gave 2 shits. I gave 1 shit. I gave 1 shit.
Mm-hmm.
But we used it as fertilizer. Think about it.
That's very green of you. I respect that.
Yeah.
I do. Hey man, you know what? So I did a little bit of research, and it turns out that you're a fan of Etrigan.
Oh yeah,
Demon.
fucking one of the best. Dude, Etrigan the demon, gone, form of man, rise the demon, Etrigan.
The poetic writer.
Oh, I wish I had that. Like, I wish I had that type of literature to be able to speak like that to people. Every sentence you say is always a rhyme, and just you don't give a shit, dude. You don't care about nothing. That dude is like probably the toughest fucking guy ever. But the only reason why he's attached to Jason Blood and they can change him back, especially in the dark, with the magical powers. I'm a nerd. That shit's in the side of the street.
So you like DC Comics? You like Justice League?
I love it all.
Mm-hmm.
This is the thing. Growing up, I loved Marvel because Marvel is like an emotional comic books. Like if you read it, they're all based upon emotion or things that like kind of, I don't know, they kind of like, they can relate to you as a child growing up. Like you get anger, like the Hulk. I love the Hulk. Spider-Man was just like someone trying to fit into the world and just could never do it. So it's like little things like that. X-Men was just a bunch of people that were outsiders compared to everyone else and no one liked them. So it was just like relatable. But then like as I started getting older and I started looking into more like, or I started liking more DC. I shouldn't say I read them both throughout the whole time, but DC is just more dark and more realistic to where, you know, you're not going to get bit by a radioactive spider and do this. You're just a playboy billionaire that's very intelligent that can fuck people up. Doesn't matter where you're from. You know what I mean? Like you don't have any special things. He just uses his mind. Or like Etrigan, dude, fucking mystic powers. That might be a little fake, or you're a demon that comes there from fucking Merlin, but dude, so dope. We can go on.
And so you like him, you also like Shazam and Batman. So here's what I thought when I read that. I think the correlation is because they all have their normal natural form, which is for Batman, it's the Playboy who's a human, and then Etrigan, the human, and then Shazam, little boy, right? And then they transform. They have this alter ego where there's just the beast mode that comes out, and then they like fuck shit up. Does that resonate with you as a fighter? Like, because in real life, because I could tell you're a silly dude. You like to fuck around and be playful, but when it comes down to it, fucking fuck shit up, right?
That's wild. I never looked at it like that. I never looked at it like that, but yeah, that could be like that. That could be my superpower. When I step in there, I turn into, because I'm dead serious. Like something else takes over when I go into that that octagon, dude, I'll tell you, as I walk out there, I'm nervous, I'm scared, I feel like that type of way. There's all these thoughts that run into your mind that, you know, you have doubt, you have just random thoughts that are not the most positive thoughts. And then you'll have positive thoughts in there to counteract it. And they're just going at 1,000,000 miles an hour. And whatever you can think of happens. And the moment you walk in and step in that cage, you're just, you transform into something that's been deep down inside your body. And it comes out at that point where you don't ever want to hurt somebody, but you're in there and you just you don't care. You want to hurt them. You want to be exciting. You want to, you know, put bone through bone. You want to sit there and make sure this guy like knows that, hey, you're not somebody that you ever want to step in the cage again with. And you become this etrigan demon, and it just comes out. But the moment the last bell is over, I snap back out of it. It's like hypnotism. Like the last bell, or the moment the ref stops the fight for the final deal, I'm a different person. I'm back to it, where I'm just more caring and more aware. And you see it in my fights after someone's hurt and I see them, the moment it snaps, my whole entire expression has changed.
Mm-hmm. And then does it kind of feel like a wash of relief over? Because is it kind of therapeutic in a sense? Because every human has some shit that builds up deep inside that is really hard to tap into and relieve of. So does fighting like that, like 0 to 100, just putting everything out there and being like the rawest form of human possible, does that do something to you where you feel just like a little bit more free? Like, oh, I got some, fuck, right?
This is like, it's very difficult. It's hard to explain. And if you're not an athlete, or if you're not somebody that's pursued something and hit a goal that was a very difficult goal. And it's not like a goal like, oh man, I want to lose 5 pounds. Boom, hit a goal. Like hit a goal that took months of your time, weeks of your time. When you get a victory in fighting, there's this feeling that's unexplanatory. You can't explain it. No fighter can. They can put it in their own perspective, but you just can't. If you know, you know. And it's like if you walked out on stage and that feeling, that first time you felt where the crowd was loud, they were laughing, they couldn't do anything, they're chanting your name for encore, they want you back out. You hear stories about it weeks after, about that moment. That feeling that you have is every fight that you win. That feeling never stops. Like, and you just, it's a boost of confidence, a boost of understanding who you are. It's a boost of knowing all the stuff that you've ever worked hard for is paying off. It's a boost of, you know, just happiness, but excitement at the same time. Like it's so crazy. I can't explain it to you, but yes, it is probably the greatest feeling ever. And it's the best adrenaline chasing feeling ever.
Damn. You know what? Actually, although they are very different, I can relate to that in terms of stand-up, because, you know, there's so many. So my first year and 3 months of doing stand-up, I went on stage to do open mics and practice 300 times, like with full-time work. So I went on stage 300 times. Because I told myself, if I want this, I'm going to work harder than everybody else around me, because nobody was giving me a chance. So I said, fuck it. What else? What can I control? The amount of work I put in. So I will outwork everybody. And a lot of times, dude, there's maybe 3 people watching, 5 people watching, sometimes 10, and there are other comedians who don't give a fuck. So you're basically up there just like performing for people on their phone who don't care. So you have to push and put in the work. And then, you know, then I went from that to getting, becoming a producer of a show at a Respect the Comedy theater, where Adam Sandler had part of his Netflix special. So you have these moments where you're like, I don't know where this is 100% going to go, but you just trust in the work, and you trust that you want this, and something's going to fucking happen. And I knew I wanted to produce shows. I knew I wanted to make this a thing, right? But I didn't know exactly what would happen, but you just do the work. And I feel like there's a correlation. Oh, and then when it did happen, and then that show fucking killed, sold out, standing room only, the first show. And then it was just, I got the recording of it. It's fucking nuts. Like, even thinking about it, I get goosebumps, and my hair is on my arms going up. So I think now, of course, it's not the same thing as 85 people versus like hundreds, if not thousands.
It is the same thing. It is the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
It is exactly the same thing. Because to me, with the feeling I have is the same feeling you have. It doesn't matter if there's 10 people in the room, and it doesn't matter if there's 100,000 people in the room. That feeling you have there, it's very difficult to explain, where you can sit there and try to put words around it, but it's very hard to correlate that to somebody that hasn't done it. You see what I mean? Like,
yeah.
If you telling me, I understand what you mean. It didn't matter if there's 85 people in that. Did not. That right there was everything to you. I fought in a octagon with less than fucking 25 people in the room. This is when I got my contract.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? That moment, it lives on forever. But that moment of getting my hand raised at that, when no one ever thought I was going to be there, no one in my city thought I was going to be there, no one anywhere thought I was going to make it to where I'm at, and I did that just in that moment, and I realized it, and I was like, that 25 people, it's not about what they saw, it's about what you felt. And that is the hardest thing to chase. That is the hardest feeling and the greatest feeling in the world at the same time.
It validated everything, right? And I do, you know what? You're right. I totally fucking understand. People doubted me too, man. They were like, okay, good. So you left your fucking job that could have made you a lot of money to pursue this shit? Okay, sure, blah, blah. And then, you do it. I'd rather do that than have sex.
Yo, for 100%.
Sex does not match.
It's easy. That shit's easy.
Yeah.
You always want the hardest stuff. And even, look, you know what? Girls over there, not easy. Bullshit, you are. Anyways, it's the thing is that, like, you can get it wherever. It's just you can't get that. You can't manipulate that. No. Because it takes time. And it's, to relate to somebody, it's like that first girl that you thought was the hottest chick in the world, and you finally ended up getting her, like after months of slow cooking, and you finally get her. Like, you think it's going to be amazing, and then you go in there, and then, like, you're like, oh, it's about to happen. That feeling right before it happens is the greatest feeling in the world. That is somewhat of what you're feeling, because after you're done with that, you realize, damn, you're like, fuck, this wasn't what I hyped it up to be. But that's the thing, is whenever you do accomplish your goal or accomplish whatever you want that everyone doubted you, that feeling after, it's everything. It never goes away. No matter what, that feeling will never go away. That understanding. And then we chase that. Every time you go up on the stage, every time you go to the next. And you can't compare that one to the last one or the next one, because it's its own feeling every time. Like, I couldn't imagine what Joe Rogan feels like, when he first got on the stage to where he does now. Like, every time he goes on a show and goes on tour, or even if we did Kevin Hart. Kevin Hart hit Seriously Funny, one of the greatest, of the decade. One of them outside of Chappelle, one of the greatest, like, stand-ups, most quoted stand-ups ever. And then you got Laugh at My Pain. Funny, but it's not the same level. Like, it still was an accomplishment. It's still great. It's still hilarious, but you can't chase that Seriously Funny, because that Seriously Funny was the first. That was the first time we saw him. You know what I mean? But that each feeling is different. Hey, he did it again. What was his most recent one that he did? I forgot whichever his most recent one.
Yeah, I forgot the name.
And that was funny, just like Seriously Funny, but you were used to it. But his accomplishment in feeling that was something different. Like, I couldn't imagine them, because, like, it's almost they're used to that feeling, because it happens to them all the time. Whereas you and I, like, we're slowly getting into each one is just it's just a great moment for us. And it lives on for longer than it should, it does.
Drag it out. I'm starting to feel that with TikTok and the growth of that. Because when I hit my first 100,000, I live streamed it and I actually started crying. I teared up because I was like, finally, because it was another level of validation because nobody cared on social media. Instagram, I had like 1,000 followers for like 10 years. Nobody gave a fuck about me. It took 10 years to get 1,000. And then I'm on TikTok and all of a sudden I'm getting this large following. And then finally, because even with the stand-up thing, besides the few big shows I've had, 99% of the time, it's me and people that don't give a fuck. So I'm just constantly being like, fuck it, am I wasting my time? What if this leads to nothing? But I'm like, no, you want this? Just fucking work. And then finally the social media thing with TikTok started happening and people started following me. And then that was another level of validation to where I was like, fuck, all those times I put videos on Instagram for my friends who didn't give a fuck about it. But I knew, I was like, no, just do it. Even though every time I had doubt, oh, only 10 likes, 20 likes, nobody gives a fuck. Stop. But then you do it again. And you have your ups and downs, but you keep fucking doing it. And then you have that moment where it's like, this is how I know I'm meant to do this. And you're right. That's the thing we get married to, that first memory, the first time where it finally validated all that fucking darkness, that shit that we were alone and nobody could really console us. It's just us against ourselves. And then everything from there, when we do have our moments of doubt, we know we belong in the playing field because of that. So we can't go lower than that, right?
That's the thing, man. TikTok, dude, I was fucking furious on TikTok, man. I've lost 1,000 followers because I kind of stopped posting. And
really? Shit.
Yeah, I just stopped posting, man. I was just like, I got mad because I was on TikTok before like everyone was. You know,
really?
like I don't mean like everyone, like every fighter in the UFC was. Even the UFC, they didn't have TikTok. And I'm on TikTok and I'm over here building stuff up. Then all of a sudden you see them start showing up and I'm over here busting my ass, doing everything. And then the next thing you know, the UFC gets theirs, they blow up. And then I've been doing this like crazy, trying my ass off, and they don't give me no love. They're giving all these other fighters love. They're blowing up and I'm sitting here just trying to bust my ass. And it got to the point where I was like, dude, I don't even know what to do. I don't know what – you have to have a TikTok persona. You know what I mean? If you don't have that persona, then you don't have a TikTok. So to me, I was resharing people's videos like yours, you know, duetting them, acting them out. I would make my own videos, but they weren't getting as much love. And then it got to the point, like, I made some funny ass videos. They never were seen. And then fucking the UFC wouldn't like reshare them like they would with these other people. Yeah. And I'm like, God damn it, I hate you. But I'm like trying to figure out what my persona is. And I've been trying to figure out what I want to go through on TikTok. Because I love TikTok. I think it's the best platform for us to show our personality in short snippets, you know? Whereas Instagram, you show your fake personality to people on a photo.
Facts.
And it's not real. Where, you know, on TikTok, dude, it's fucking funny, dude. I found myself on TikTok looking at shit for hours.
Me too.
Laughing nonstop. I don't like doing it, but it's just so hard to put it down, dude.
Yeah, it's addicting as fuck.
It is. And it's not these people that are doing the dances. The dances are cool, man. But one guy, the Plastic Daddy, you know who that is? No. He just hit a Plastic Daddy, dude. The kid is funny. And he's like, I don't know. It's like he does some stuff and says some shit that you're just like, did you just say that? I love you, man. I can't believe you said that. And then he'll snap back at everyone's like comments. And it's like, he's not doing any dances. He'll do some dances. He'll do some of these like videos and make them cool, but he'll sit there and put out some truths and be real and just snap on people. Like literally people giving out hate mail, you know what I mean? He'll comment on them and literally just go, hey, I just want to let you know, fuck you. And it's just the funniest way how he presents it. And his persona is that. His persona is fucking awesome, dude.
Yeah, you know, do you mind if I give some insight on the whole TikTok thing, posting,
Please.
not get? Yeah, because I go through that actually. Now to this day still. So there are people that have less followers than me that get crazy amount of views, and a lot of my videos compared to how many followers I have, they do like 10% of that or something. Sometimes they do 5%. They do really bad. And it got to the point where I was going to stop. I was like, I'm just going to stop for like a week. But I was like, no, if you stop now, you're going to fucking never get back to it. And what I learned is you just have to keep posting anything and everything that even in your head is remotely funny to you. Like even when you're driving, just say it or do it and just
Yeah.
keep doing it over and over and over. And then hashtagging it, of course. And then you never know, one will hit and then they'll share it. And then and over time you'll start to see like, oh, these people actually like when I do this. Like for instance, for me, I was like, oh, they like it. They really like it when I just talk, you
Yeah.
know? So it's just, it gets frustrating still to this day. So when I look at other people's stuff and then they get so much engagement, and I'm like you, I spend time. I post every day. I'll spend like an hour on like one video that's 30 seconds sometimes. And then there's other guy who does like a 10-second, it's a water bottle. I flip it. And then they get like millions. And I'm like, oh man.
Oh man. Or what bums me out is that I have friends that don't even use TikTok, and they'll post a video showing ass cheek or literally like push their boobs together and they win, or they'll sit there and really just like dumb,
Mhm.
and then they just fucking blow up, and then they're all about TikTok and they're sit there and I'm like, yeah, how the fuck, what is going on, man? This face is a fucking award-winning face. Like if you could give this face an Oscar, it deserves 2.
Hey, you got some fire
Maybe.
eyebrows though. Like they're symmetrical, they're shaped. Mine are caterpillar eyebrows, but you got some good eyebrows, man.
Hey man,
Legit.
I'm over here just glorious beard, beautiful eyebrows. We got to fix this fucking hair, but I'm just trying to grow it out. I'm just saying. And like, that's the only thing that kind of bums me out. Is like, you can come in here and you put all that hard work. And again, that's when like the back to that feeling that we're talking about. You put in all that hard work and everyone else just does one thing and then they shoot up way more than you. And then you're just like, fuck this. But again, we got to keep going. You got to keep grinding.
Exactly.
And it's going to be tougher. It's tougher for every single person. But man, I need to get back on it. I need to start saying stuff. I need to start speaking my mind.
That's exactly what I was thinking. You need to speak your mind because you're good at expressing yourself. You have a lot of experience. I mean, maybe you could try being more vulnerable, even more vulnerable, and being like real as fuck with whatever the fuck you want to talk about. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, I've been following a lot of your stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and you talking about being a fuckboy, that shit's funny too. But your fuckboy tactics, which is so funny, because I'm sitting there like, I'm not a fuckboy, but god damn, I use that shit too. Like I've done that. But things like that. I see that you are a lot of vulnerable, and you utilize that a lot, and a lot of people, I don't know if they can relate to it or they think they relate to it or they have a reason why they relate to it. But I see a lot of your comments, like I've read, a lot of people have some positive, connection with you. And that's like very difficult. Cause one thing with MMA, like a lot of fighters, or a lot of fans will comment your stuff. And there's people that always hate you because they like X person or whatever. Same thing in your deal. You might say something politically incorrect or might say something that, but the people that you actually should care about are the people that are like, hey man, like, dude, I understand this, or I feel this, like this changed me, this helped me. Those are the fun ones to see. And when I see those comments on yours, I'm like, damn, like you have a connection with your audience that most people don't even have. People just kind of like people for what they say, but the responses that some of these people have, I don't know if you ever read some of your comments, some of these people are just like, they relate to it, they feel it, they understand it. And now those are the people we chase as an athlete. I can tell you that much.
So, I mean, you've gotten hate. You've seen some hate stuff, right?
Oh yeah.
Which comes with anybody being in a public eye. Me, you, anybody, doesn't fucking matter, right? So that's the same concept or same state of mind that you come from. The standpoint is you've learned to just focus on just the positive out of all that negative shit too, right?
Yeah, man. Hate always comes. It doesn't matter. You're damned if you do, and you're damned if you don't. There's a lot of things that people don't like about you. There's a lot of people that there's a lot of things that people don't agree with you. There's a lot of people that are very opinionated on things that you do. But at the end of the day, they're not with you. They're not rolling with you. They're not doing anything that you're doing. And like, for instance, I say this all the time, you know, those are people always say this. This is dead honesty. It's going to be far off, a little off topic, but you know, there's people that are like, hey man, would you suck dick for $1 million? Show me $1 million. I'm not gay, but that's going to change your life. You know what I mean? That shit will change your life.
Yeah.
That's like, I'm not going to say no, but the more famous I get, the money's going to go up way higher for sure. But like, I'm not, by no means, like, why does it matter? Like, everyone's judging you. Everyone's going to judge you. Oh, this dude sucked a dick for $1 million. You're right, he did. But he's $1 million richer for you, and you're going to be sitting there working your minimum wage job and doing this stuff, and then you just bought all this stuff. Like, it's just a concept. I'm like, I probably wouldn't. I don't know. Never been offered it. But the thing is that there's always going to be someone that hates you, no matter what it is. If you ask a girl, if a girl is like, hey, I'll pay, if a guy asks a girl, pay you $1 million if you sucked a dick, you know what they'd do? Be a millionaire. You know what I mean? And no one will bat an eye. Only the girls, no one bat an eye, but only the girls that didn't get that offer are just going to bitch at them and talk shit on them behind closed doors, everything like that. Like, everyone is always going to judge you on what you do. Everyone's going to hate on you what you do. If you hang out with somebody of color, if you hang out with somebody that doesn't do the same sport as you, if you even in high school, if you hang out with someone from a different high school, if you talk to somebody that isn't friends with your friend, or your friend doesn't like that person, there's always someone that's going to do this. And like, negative comments, negative things, they're always going to be there. So why do we focus on negative more than the positive? Just focus on you. Fuck everyone else. They don't give a shit about you. So why?
It's so easy to get lost in that too. Even if you get, let's say you get 100 awesome comments, and then you see one negative comment, sometimes that one negative comment will just fuck you up.
Yeah.
And then we forget about the 100 positive ones.
Conor McGregor was real avid about this, that, you know, when he fights, he believes in, you know, he believes in positivity and law of attraction. And when he was fighting Mayweather, most people don't know this, but when he was fighting Mayweather, one of his fighters, or one of the coaches, literally said a negative comment, like saying, like, you think you're going to beat him? Like, there's no way. And he kicked him off right then and there. Wasn't like, yeah, you had this guy was going to make a lot of money, kicked him off. Didn't even, and it was a really well-respected coach, like a really, really high-end coach. And the coach was being legit honest, and he was like, no, because that one negative thought will destroy you. You know, think about all those girls. Put it like this. When you talk to a chick, right? When you talk to a girl, a beautiful girl, how many dudes are always there that are always like simping over them and just giving them everything they want and saying everything they need to them? And the girls are like, oh, stop. They feel great about themselves. And you see these girls walk around, beautiful chicks, that you have to look at them and be like, all right, I have to go at a different approach. And then you kind of like go to talk to them, but you don't give them the attention like everybody else does, right? You're not giving the attention like everybody else does. And they're like, well, why doesn't this guy like me? Why doesn't this guy give me the attention that this dude and everybody else is doing? I want to know a little bit more. So then now they're drawn to you because they want to know and figure stuff out. And then you just bait them in and you get them because they think you hear all these positive stuff and you're the only one that gives them not a negative vibe, but a different vibe. You give them that thought in their own, they create a negative thought in their own head. Like, this guy doesn't like me for some reason. What's the flaw? What's different? You know? And we attach ourselves to those thoughts that aren't real, that they shouldn't be real.
Do you eat a lot of Cuban food?
Always.
Do you like arroz con pollo?
Arroz con pollo? Yeah, this is the best, dude. Arroz con pollo.
Arroz con pollo.
Yeah. I haven't eaten in a long time.
Do you miss it?
Yeah, I miss food. I miss fucking food. I posted on Instagram. I went to breakfast. I took myself on a date, and it looks cute. But I literally had to tell the lady, like, hey, I'm on a diet. Can you weigh all my shit out? She goes, yeah, we can weigh it out. I was like, all right, are you sure? Do you have a scale? And she's like, yeah. She's like, how difficult is it? I was like, well, I need 171 grams of protein. I need, do you guys have eggs inside? Okay, I need 6 eggs. I need 150 grams of potatoes. I need, 10 grams of almond butter. And I was like, she was like looking at me like, what the fuck did I just open up? I said, hey, I apologize. $17 breakfast. $17 breakfast is what I had to do. And that's my life everywhere I go. Or if I make stuff, I'm weighing everything out for my body weight to lose weight. And none of it is as amazing as arroz con pollo. None of it.
There is no comparison.
No comparison.
Mm-mm. There's
What
a
is
lot
your
going on in
favorite?
my head. Huh? What is
your
my favorite food?
food?
Oh, man, this is always a tough one because it's like I have preferences on how I feel, right? But something that I can eat all the time.
Here we go. This makes
Yeah.
it easy.
Okay.
Favorite drunk food? Go.
Favorite drunk food?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I like Jack in the Box, sourdough jack, bacon cheddar potato wedges with like 4 tacos.
4 tacos. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, favorite happy food?
Favorite happy food?
Like you're feeling good, feeling great. You just crushed it at the comedy club and you want to treat yourself. What is that food that you go get?
I like a ribeye steak.
I knew you were going to go with steak. All right.
Yeah.
Depression.
Depression?
Yeah. Where you're sad and you're just like, no one likes me.
I guess McDonald's. I don't really eat when I'm depressed, but if I'm depressed, I want something just easy where I don't have to really think about it, like chili fries or some shit. Yeah.
Yeah. Like my depression food, like I know I'm sad or I know I'm like not feeling it is when I start eating cheese. I'm like, fuck. Cheese just like, I don't know why cheese makes me happy. But yeah, that's all right. Here we go. Your favorite angry meal when you're fucking just pissed off and you just need to drive or get the fuck out of the house or something, you go grab this meal and it just kind of like, it's something you could fuck up without feeling remorse.
Burger.
Yeah.
Oh,
Burger. See, there we go. There we are, right there. Now we figured out your favorite foods. You're a carnivore, my friend. You are a carnivore.
I tried the carnivore diet.
Oh no, there's no way I could do that.
Yeah, it sucked. I felt my prostate swell up, and all my poops were like spaghetti.
Oh, well, dude. Yeah. When I went vegan, or vegetarian, it wasn't even vegan. When I went vegetarian, it was the same stuff. Things were just, dude. You would take shits and you wouldn't have to wipe. It was so weird. Mm-hmm. Like I still wiped because of the self-consciousness, but like after it, like you'll wipe and there's nothing on there. It was just clean. When I went vegan, it was that same thing. When I eat meat, it's just it's a fucking mess. If I do red meat, it's a fucking mess. But if I do like turkey and stuff, not chicken, if I just do turkey, then it's different. But I don't know what it is, man. If like each body type's different to where you have to be vegetarian and it's easier I don't know.
Yeah, because people will swear by the carnivore diet and they'll say, oh, it's healed their body, their autoimmune disorder, they poop better. And I was like, okay, cool. But you're right. Everybody's different.
Yeah, all diets work with a calorie deficit or a caloric increase. It doesn't matter. Like, obviously there's healthier foods. You can't fucking eat McDonald's every meal and expect to have a healthy lifestyle, but if you eat only just meat and that's all it is, the carnivore diet, you only do that and you do it for 5 months, you're definitely going to see change. If you go vegan and you do that for 5 months, you're going to see change. If you go vegetarian, if you go fasting go fasting every 2 weeks or every week for 48 hours, you're going to see change in your body. Every diet works as long as consistency is in play. That's it. Literally. I fucking cut weight all the time. And I've done all these diets. I went 90-day vegan, 90-day vegetarian. I wouldn't do carnivore diet. It just wasn't, there's no fucking way. I can't eat meat for breakfast. There's just no way. I'll gag.
Yeah.
But I've done all these things. I've done a whole 30. I've done half of a 75 hard. I've done everything. And literally, I saw results on each one of them, and all the similar result And all it is that consistency. If you stay consistent, you'll get the fucking diet. So the people that swear by it is just because it's the most comfortable diet for them that they like. Keto, all that shit. It's just comfortable for them. It's what they can do. And I don't knock it. And I don't force them to sit there and change their mentality. It's fucking dumb, dude. That's like people with religion, you know what I mean? Like they're saying,
I was just going to say that. Yeah.
Oh, this is a better religion. Why the fuck? It's all the same. You all look to a higher power. That's it. You all are trying to gain weight or lose weight. That's it. It's all the same shit.
Yeah. And we're all going to die. That's the equalizer. True. Death is the equalizer.
It is. It definitely, but you don't sit there and stress about that, do you? Yeah. We stress about a negative fucking comment under our TikTok or Instagram. That's what I've fucking realized. Like,
that's so funny. Care about a little tiny stupid shit.
Yeah. We are just fucking humans floating on this giant earth ball in space. We have no clue what the fuck's out there besides what we see on the internet, phones, or TV. And we're over here worrying if someone will judge me if I wear fucking stripes with plaid. Like, what the fuck? Come on, dude. Get a fucking life.
Yeah.
This doesn't work.
You know, this is what I wanted to ask earlier, though. Were you bullied in high school or middle school?
No, man. There's people that always there were people that tried to pick on me, but I was always called the bus when we played football, like backyard football. You know, they always give the ball to Julian, he'll fucking go through anyone. And that's the thing, my mentality, I was always a bigger guy, and people would try to make fun of me verbally, which kind of shunned me off a lot, made me shy, made me self-conscious about a lot of things. And the thing is people would never tell me what to do. Like, if people ever came up to me and was like, yo, give me that apple, or I don't know, fucking give me your lunch, I'd be like, nah, I'm hungry. And if they try to take it from me, I had a temper, and I would fuck you up. I did not care. I would get my ass beat, but I'll still go down swinging, to the point where they know, don't fuck with this kid. You may win or you may lose.
Is that when you knew you wanted to be a fighter?
Nope. I'm the nicest person in the world. When I was a kid, I was a little bit when I was younger, I was a little bit more crazier. I was literally, this is how crazy it was. When I was a kid, we used to have it's weird how life turned out. But when I was a little kid, we used to have just straight backyard fights. And everyone would always throw me in, and I'd fight because it was fun. You know, I'd be bloody and stuff, and I'd fight because it was fun when I was I'm telling you, 10 years old. We'd fight everybody in the streets, not the streets, but in our neighborhood and stuff. And then people would kind of set stuff up for us, and oh, you're gonna fight Tommy, you know. And my mom would always tell that story that I went and fought. It was her friend's son. We knew him. We're all cool, and it was bad. I ended up blacking out, and I fucked him up bad, to the point where I had a white shirt on. I came home, and my shirt was completely red, and I was crying. And my mom was like, "What's going on?" And just I don't know. And then her mom, they ended up figuring out. My mom was like, "Yeah, they kept antagonizing. I didn't want to fight my friend, but my friend wanted to fight me. It was fucked up." But anyways, that was when I was a kid. I used to always do that. And then in high school, we used to start doing backyard boxing. So we would just meet up, and we had one of our buddies go with the video camera, just do boxing, and then everyone would just kind of call me out. It's okay. And I would box people, and people were better boxers, but the problem is when I hit them, they wouldn't want to hit me again. They would kind of stop. And I started realizing that, so no one messed with me. And now look at me. I'm still the same fucking guy back in front of the cage. But I was the nicest person in the world. If you looked at me, I was a teddy bear. You know, no one really picked on me. No one bullied me. But if you knew my personality, I was just a kind guy. And you're like, damn, dude, how are you a fighter? We would have never thought you would have been in there. You're just kind of very kind. But it just happened one day. time just ended up telling and creating and forming me. And I was like, fuck yeah, something I love, dude. Getting punched in the face is so fucking fun in the weirdest fucking way possible.
What does it feel like when you get hit? And as soon as you get hit, does it feel like some like ecstasy or something coming up? It's like, oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Like a mixture of joy and rage, or what is it?
It's again, it's another feeling that I can't explain. Getting hit is just getting hit, man. It's cool. Yeah. Like it's look, everyone should be hit in the face at least once so they realize they're not that big of a pussy. You know what I mean? It hurts worse to fucking catch your toe on the corner of the bed when you're waking up in the morning or stepping on that Lego. Hurts way worse than getting punched in the face. And that's one thing, like, when it comes down to fighting, dude, when it hits you, it's just like, I don't know, man. It's just kind of like, fuck yeah. Like, all right, we're in it. And like, when I get hit, the more I get hit, the more powerful I become. It's fucking weird.
You're like a Super Saiyan.
Yeah, it's just a fun battle. And it could be from, like you said, that as a kid, watching all those Dragon Ball Z, watching Inuyasha, watching all these combat like movies, Mortal Kombat, Bruce Lee movies, all these things. Fuck Bruce Leroy, Show Enough, all that stuff. And that could have just kind of instilled that combative mentality. So when I get hit, man, I'm just like, all right, let's do this. Let's go, man. And it's just like a game. It's like as if you were, I actually don't know what to relate it to because I don't know. I played football and it wasn't as fun. Like hitting somebody was fun as fuck. But getting hit was not fun, you know, especially at full sprint. It was not fun at all.
So what do you like to do when you're not training and you got some downtime?
Man, shit. I don't really know, man. I had a whole bunch of stuff. Like if I was in Vegas, I'll go rock climbing. I'll go hiking. I'll go party with some friends. I go, you know, help old ladies cross the street or save some orphans from a burning building, become Superman. But here, man, I just kind of read and just kind of wash my thoughts about everything. Just like stay away from it, you know? Don't overthink about everything. It's like you care, but you don't care, you know?
Yeah. So it's kind of like you try to be as present as possible to not think about past, future, and just feel what's here, even if it's just the wind or just your breathing, that type of stuff, right?
Yeah, the moment I'll do stuff. You know, I also like to read educational books. I like to sit there and learn a new trade. Like I want to do real estate, so I'm learning real estate. I want to learn how to grow my money, which I've been doing. I've been learning the stocks. I've been building up on my stock portfolio, and hopefully soon I'll get my next house. And then we'll just grow from there. That's kind of, I'm always looking to educate myself, but when I step off the mats, I step off the mats. You know what I mean? When I step on the mats, everything else happens. If a girlfriend, if an ex, if a family member, if a World War III happened, when I step on that mat, I'm only focused on what it is. When I step off that mat, I don't look back at that moment. I don't sit there and be like, oh shit, man, I got hit 4 times. Oh shit, I got subbed out today. Oh shit, you know, it was a shitty day. Nah, man. Every day is not your best day, and every good day is not your bad day, you know? Like, it's okay.
Do you have a technique for that? Because that's something that I struggle with on a daily with TikTok or other like career stuff, that it's hard to not think about it constantly, you know?
You want to learn it? I'll give you a hint how to do it. Go take a shower. Simple. Go take a shower. You like doing those cold showers. By the way, I've been starting those cold showers.
Yeah.
I've been doing it after practice. I fucking hate them. But I can relate to your shower fucking like after first week, you're like, ugh, and the second week, you're like, okay. Now I'm kind of getting more used to it. I could just walk in there and it's like, yeah. Anyways, go take a shower. All right. And I want you to focus only on things in the shower. Okay. Imagine you have a balloon. Imagine you have a thought, a balloon. All right. And if that balloon floats away and you have a thought about what energy drink I'm doing or what thing I have coming up. I want you to grab it and focus only on the shower, where the water's hitting you on the chest. Focus on what the water's doing on your chest. Focus on the shampoo in there. Focus on what is there and present, and only think about what's nothing outside that shower, nothing that's going on in your life. Just think about that shower. Practice that for an entire week, and then keep doing it. Now, the thing is that you're going to go do it one time, and then you're going to forget about it the next week. That balloon's going to fly away. But every time you get in that shower, you just think about that shower. 5 minutes. 5 minutes worth. Only 5 minutes. It will change your entire life. It will change your entire life as you do it. 5 minutes in the shower. And then you can go outside and have your morning coffee in the morning. Sit outside on your patio. And then look at what's around you. If it's a car, if it's a bird, if it's the sky, if it's a cloud moving, if it's somebody getting out on their patio, if it's somebody walking across the street, if it's a dog running, if it's a squirrel, if it's a, whatever it may be, focus on that, but not any other thought that goes through your head. And if it does, it's okay. Let it be. Just bring it back and focus on what you have. Like as if we have a conversation, you're not going to sit there and look in your whole entire area. You're going to focus on what I'm saying to you. And you're not really thinking too much different about in your mind. I hope you're not, but you're not thinking about all these different thoughts like, oh shit, I left the food on top of my car, whatever thought that comes to your head. Oh, my ex is going to come over later tonight and we're going to have fun. Like, you just focus on what is in front of you. 5 minutes. Literally. It's not hard. And then when you do that, after a while, you get to the point where the thoughts that come through your head will just be thoughts. Does that make sense?
It reminds me kind of like the power of now. Are you into the what's that German guy? Fuck. Do you know what I'm talking about? He talks about presence and just being. Okay.
Well, I have no idea. The thing is that like, I've been to a lot of mental coaches, and I've talked to a lot of mental coaches, and I've worked with a lot of hypnotists and everything. And it got to the point where, we always think, and like it comes to that comment, like the negative comment, we always think. And then when it comes to the negative comment, like it could be the negative thought we have about a stand-up we're doing, or the negative thought we're having about TikTok, or the negative thought that we're having about Instagram, or the post we're going to do, or the selfie, or the words that we're going to say into that screen whenever we're going to post that live video, just those thoughts. And then we think about the negative stuff that happens. Now we can sit there and think about a positive thing. Like we can think about, all right, I have 12,000 people about to, tune into my live right now. That's awesome. But you're going to think about, what if I do this? What if I do that? And the thing is that you think of that 12,000 people, that good thought, it comes through your head and it passes right by. But whenever we think about like, oh, I'm going to fuck up, or I'm going to say something dumb or whatever, you stop it and you hold on to that thought. You know what I mean? You hold on to that thought and you manifest that thought into something more, and it grows like a tree in your head, and it kind of defeats your self-conscious, defeats your purpose, defeats you, and it just kind of eats away, and it could make you or break you at that moment. So the reason why I'm like here, and you go and focus on the shower, or you focus on having your cup of joe outside and trying to focus on what's there, you're learning to let the thoughts that are going to come in your head, because they will. You're learning to let those thoughts kind of just go in there, and then you're going to just focus back on there. You're learning to let them pass, because you can't stop thoughts. You can't stop those negative comments coming. You can't stop from reading, but how you react is how you change it. And that's the easiest way to practice it, where it's the most subtle way to do it. You know what I mean? Like without fucking killing yourself. You taking a shower, dude. You know what I mean? You're having a cup of joe or coffee. Like again, like I said, my breakfast, when I went to go do my breakfast, I sat down, had breakfast, had coffee, and I just sat at the table by myself. It was my own date. It was myself. I took myself out. I enjoyed my $17 breakfast, and it was great. I looked out the window. I saw people walking in and out. But honestly, I couldn't tell you what thought went through my head during breakfast. Like, I don't remember what I was thinking about. I just remember seeing people, seeing my food, seeing like the different type of stuff they created with all the weighed out portions. And like, it was the most pleasant breakfast I've had on a stressful week, because I got to sit there on my own time, on my own freedom, no negative thought coming in, no positive thought coming in. It was just, I was there with that breakfast, enjoying a different meal. It's the best.
I'm going to do that. I'll try that out. So I had a question about how do you balance dating and relationships with your lifestyle and your career?
I don't date. I don't do relationships. And the only reason why is this is my time.
Yeah.
I have a short time, and we always want to be, a lot of people are codependent, or a lot of people are independent, whatever it may be. But I focus more on myself, man. I need to better myself as a human. Like, I don't want to have a life or a family that isn't supported, that isn't, that I can't support. Now, I don't want to work at a desk job, a 9-to-5 or a serving job, or something that just can get things established correct. And that's the thing, is I focus on me. I'm selfish on me. And I tell that to every single person I'm there. Like, you don't have a lot of great connections with people. And some girls that they want to have a relationship, but I'm like, look, I'm so focused on myself that at this moment in time that I wouldn't give you the respect to be what I should give to you. And you deserve to have that. And it doesn't matter if they're the hottest girl in the world or one of the girls that always go by, like, that you could never give up. Like, there's many girls in my life that I've seen get married, that have kids, but man, I want this so bad that I don't want to, I want to focus on it. Mike Tyson, if you remember, Mike Tyson didn't have any girls for the longest time. He didn't think about women. He didn't think about any of that. He didn't focus on it. He just focused on what he wanted, created his life, created everything he wanted, made all the stuff that he did. And then he started going out there. And as he started focusing on that, things started changing for him. And that's where I'm at, man. Like, I have relationships with a lot of women as friends. I don't go after them and try to be, oh, let's do this, let's do that. And, sometimes you meet girls that you hook up with and you get together, but you have the same mentality. And those are women where, like, they're trying to build their empire as you're trying to build your empire. So you don't have to sit there and have that conversation with each one of them every day, all day, text them all the time, tell them what you're doing, cancel practice to go show up to, some dinner with her and her friends. Like, you don't have to do that. And that's the lifestyle I've chosen. So that's how I deal with it, is I'm friends with everybody. I'm cool with everybody, but this is my time. Like, I'm staying at my coach's house, away from all my family, away from everything I know. And I'm here from morning to night. I don't go out. I don't do anything. I can go out, but I'm hyper focused because I want to make my come back. So I cancel everything out. And could it be the right way? For me, it is. For you, maybe not. But it works for me.
I was thinking about this the past 2 days, because my last relationship, it was a 2-year relationship. It died because I told her that I put this in front of everything. Like, I said, I'm willing to lose you over that. But by me staying in it, even though I started to resent her, I resented that I had to text her. I resented that I had to spend one day out of the week to be with her. And just even now, I'm very selfish right now. I have to make my dreams come true. Otherwise, I will never be happy, and I will be a horrible person to be around for any significant other at the end of the day.
This is another thing too, is that you got to know when your dream is met. Because you have to make sure you write down everything, your core values, what you believe, what you are driving towards. Because, to me, I know when my time frame is up. I have a time frame. You could be 50 being a comedian. You could be 50 doing TikTok. You can do it all. Look at all these people that are being successful. My time frame in fighting and what I do in fighting is going to happen within the next 7 years. I have 7 years and I can dedicate my time. And in that time, I'm not saying I won't find somebody that's dope as hell, that I can sit there and I can still focus on my stuff, come back, have enough trust with that person. And we kind of going back and forth with one another.
I'm not saying you can't, but right now, at this moment, in the fight that I have coming up, I have to focus on myself, and I don't want anything around me. And if there's girls out there that understand that, and there's girls out there that don't understand that. And that's the difference between girls and women. That's the difference between CEOs and, associates. That's the difference between, success and just failure. And is that you have to be independent. Like I would be looking for a woman that's so independent that if I left for 4 weeks, I know that everything that had happened, everything that is, we're still there, everything's there. And I come back and they are 2 inches higher. They are up here and I'm up here. So we just keep growing together. Quarantine changed a lot of mentalities out there because you realize you're by yourself. And you ain't got nobody there for 3 months locked in your house. You ain't got nobody there. You realize, like, damn, this fucking sucks. The difference between my life and everybody else's, for me, is that I never stayed home. The moment quarantine happened, I packed my bags and I left to go find training. And I found where I needed to be to make sure I can still come back to be successful. Whereas some people, they stayed at home, did their home workouts and stuff, and then they got bored. I was reading books. I was doing everything. I was still trying to build my empire. It may not have grown that much, but it grew this much each day. And that's what I did for me.
So each day, you try to do a little bit of something, even if it's just a little something, right?
There's many things that can make you better. And fighting can relate to life. Life can relate to fighting. Everything correlates to one another. Life feeds you comedy. Life feeds you ideas. Life feeds everything. So every day I do something, whether it be sending out an important email to try to get someone to help sponsor me or to help partner up with somebody, or to go out there and put my name out there, or even trying to team up with people on TikTok to sit there and see if we could do a video or whatever it may be. I don't sit there and try to do things that will only be in my area. I do things that could better me as a human. So sending out an email to Gary V. Gary V don't talk to me, but I write an email to Gary V and I send it to him. And then maybe a couple days later, I don't hear anything back, or a week later, I'll send a different email, but to the same email address. And I just keep reaching out. I've gotten a hold of Gary V by doing that. You know what I mean? Like, I've gotten a hold of him and I've sent him some stuff, and then I just keep following up with him. Keep following up, because sooner or later somebody's going to be like, okay, yo, what the fuck? Like, you know what I mean? Yeah. And, or if it's, I fucking hate reading, so I'll read a book. I hate understanding anything when it comes to do with math, or I hate sitting there having a conversation with someone that I love. I'm not going to say names, but I hate having a conversation with them because I know it's just going to fucking draw out and be the longest shit in the world. But I practice patience by talking to them, and I love them, but I practice patience by calling them and having a long conversation with them instead of a short conversation. Everything I do, it just could be something so small that gives me that much of advantage in life. And that's it. So don't beat yourself over it because you're not sitting there studying the next fad or the next deal. It's what can you do to better you? That's what the only goal is. It could be today we're not going to drink a Rockstar energy drink. They don't even sponsor me, but I've sent millions of fucking emails after them. Maybe it's not that. Maybe that's what's going to make me better is not drinking one of these. Maybe what's going to make me better is forcing to drink a gallon of water. Or to get 2 gallons of water. That right there is just a mental victory. And it's those small ones that add up to the big ones.
Damn, that was good. Because I was about to ask you, is there something you want to leave the audience with? But I think that was fucking awesome. But if there is something you want to leave the audience with before we end it, is there anything you'd like to share? Or?
Man, I think I shared enough.
I think so too. Yeah, I think that's
I
just.
think they can come for part 2 when that happens.
There will be a part 2 definitely in the future. But yeah, Julian, would you like to plug in social media? Anything?
Yeah, man. Social media accounts on Snapchat, Instagram, Twitter, J Marquez MMA, TikTok, J Marquez MMA 185. Thank you all for tuning in to this dope podcast. I opened up. I said some nasty things, but you know what? We had fun. We learned. We lived, and I'm still gonna smile at the end of the day.
All right, you heard it from the man himself. Guys, this has been another episode of the Setbreaker Podcast, and thank you for listening. And until then, I will see you on the next episode.